Coach Cam fam, what's good? You guys are here with me at my gym, my facility, where we get to go through an amazing workout. I hold myself to the standard that all athletes I work with need to be at a top level, so the coach also needs to have those same standards. So we're gonna get after it. You guys are gonna watch what I do to make sure that I stay in shape and so that I'm able to be the best coach that I can be. Here's a little bit of a behind the scenes of working out with an Olympic coach. Let's go. All right, okay, so we just finished up the warm-up right now. Everything's getting set. We got the workout written up for today. Right now, I'm kind of in a phase where it's just maintain strength and then maintain some of the athleticism that I've built over the course of my whole athletic career. So we got like our exercise is really just 3 series to maximize like the amount of time we're in and we're out of. I'm not here for 3 hours. I've been working all day, coaching about 10, 12 hours. So then now I'm getting right into it with trying to get a workout and maximize the time for myself. So we got 3 little mini circuits, each one's focusing on different things. We got our first one with swings, planks, just focusing on getting the body moving and focused and engaging your core. Then we got the main one, strength, feeling good. We got some deadlifts today and we're gonna work up from there. And the final part, that's where the heart rate gets going. We're gonna make sure that we get some movement in the body and maintain some of the athletic abilities. So without further ado, let's get this thing going. All right, so we just finished the first little mini circuit, mini series of the workout. Body's fully warm now. We're going into the strength phase. And right before it, I want to talk about, because these workouts are really important to me to maintain, because consistency is what allows you to be disciplined, or like allows your discipline to level you up within whatever you're trying to do. But then the other part is it's the standard that I hold myself to as a coach. With the athletes that I work with, I expect a certain level of commitment from them, let alone myself, in producing greatness, right? So if I would expect that of them, I want to still expect that of myself. I'm still basically fresh out from competing, so it's not like my body is super aged or I have all these injuries. I have things that are lingering, but I want to make sure that I'm still the best version of myself no matter what. And that goes back to my core values of getting as good as I can at whatever I'm able to do so that I'm able to give back to all the athletes that I work with. And working out and maintaining this, even with the long days that I'm having of focusing on other people, gives me freedom to work on myself and allows me a little bit of time to be selfish and work on everything that I want to work on for myself. But then part 2 is I love being here and I love being in the athletic mindset, regardless of if I'm actually competing or I'm coaching. That's what's going to hold me to the higher standard of being able to push the pace, not only with coaching and saying the different things, but having the shape to perform and still view different things or trends that are happening within the sport. Let's get this next series going. Deadlifts, baby. The good stuff. Some classic lifting chalk. Deadlifts are done, featuring the wizard, Coach Dan. I think a big thing about just working out and transitioning to being a coach is also what your lifestyle looks like outside of actual training. But the one thing I wanted to ask and have everybody hear about is like what your goals for me were when I was training as an athlete, but then now you're still training me, still kind of going through everything, but what it looks like as a coach now.
So the biggest thing I gotta say is when you're an athlete, you're training for certain qualities within your sport. Whether it's strength, power, different kind of body movements, forward, lateral, rotational. It all kind of depends on what you need to get better at to be better at your sport. Now that you've kind of transitioned to being a coach, it becomes more of what do you want to do in generalities, so to speak. So you want to be strong, so we're going heavy on deadlifts. You want to work on overhead mobility, so we'll do things to kind of help you with that. So it becomes a lot more of a a general aspect of training rather than the specifics to that sport.
Yeah, totally. What do you think, like, so for example, I think a lot of athletes don't have you. They don't have a version of you of what I have had for like the last 3 going on 4 years. Actually, it's almost 5 years, but what would you say, like what would be like a go-to tip for young athletes, older athletes who are trying to really be elite or a high level player, if you will?
Like within their sport?
Yeah, within their sport.
Well, I mean, just honestly, social media is such a huge thing nowadays that if you can find the right people to follow, see training videos, tips, there's a lot of good stuff out there. There's a lot of snake oil salesmen as well. So, you know, you have to be kind of wary with who you look for, who you follow and get advice from. But honestly, in a grand scheme of things, if you don't have somewhere to go or somebody to kind of train you, hit up YouTube, find different videos, and honestly find the stuff that you like to do that makes training enjoyable. There's nothing worse than trying to come and do something by yourself and then hate it and then you don't come back.
Yeah.
And then you just get worse and worse and you wonder why, what's happening, you're weaker, slower, not as strong as your competition. So just find things that you like to do, search the internet, you know, as weird as that sounds, find those people that you can rely on and then kind of just take tips and tricks from them and try to implement that as much as you can in a consistent basis.
You could say that Coach Cam is someone you can rely on. Series 3, let's go. I'm tired. But my athletes wouldn't give up, so I won't.
Come on.
All right, workout is done, and now it's time. We're closing everything out. We got a special guest, George, here in on this side, and I think the one thing that I preach to all my athletes that I work with is having a moment of reflection after every main workout that you do. Obviously, it's, you know, you can have things like stretching or just decompressing, hydrating, eating, whatever you might think to actually physically take care of yourself. But I also think the mental side to it is important, in the sense that you need to kind of just check in with yourself. And especially after a big workout, when you're pushing yourself, it's a good time to do it. And I think the biggest thing is just checking in on your own mindset of how you want to approach things and what you want to do. And obviously, I got my boy Parth here. He's been through a lot of trials and trained with me a lot of times, and has been there for when I'm transitioning out of being over to a coach. And what do you think is like kind of like one of the biggest things for when we talk about mindset? Like, what's one of the biggest like standout things for like post practice, like how you approach things? Like, what would you say about that?
Good question. I mean, I would say one of the big things is like not letting your training session end at the gym. You know, like you talked about mindset, but you know, one thing in terms of like progressing yourself, you know, your body and your mind, is you're done training your body, but now you got to train your mind a little. You got to come and reflect, you know, take some notes, kind of understand where you're at physically. Like today, I was kind of in rough shape, but go home, reflect about it a little bit, and then it'll allow me to come back stronger in the next training in the next week.
Totally. One thing that stands out, I think, for all athletes when you talk about mindset is the approach you want to have, right? And it's easy for that approach to say like, oh, I'm a hardworking athlete. Oh, I push myself. Oh, I do this, this, and this. But then when you're tired or after the workout, it's easy to just let go and just move on. I'm going to go on with my day. This is how I did this. No, this is the time where you need to sit down and kind of say, hey, no, this is how I approach things. And for me, now that I've switched over to coaching, I look at this is time for me to just do my thing. The gym has become an area where obviously I'm still making the growth, like, you know, and going through everything like Parth was saying. You still have up and down training days. Like, that doesn't end just because you're not competing anymore. The biggest takeaway is, though, like, this is a release now. I see it as a release, and the one thing that I come at it and what I would challenge all of you guys to think about is gratitude. That's one of the biggest takeaways of actually appreciating what goes into everything that you do, let alone the work that you put in. And when you have that sense of gratitude for every single workout, whether it was a good session or even having it in those bad sessions, the tough sessions, it's going to make all the pressure situations that you come up with in your competition that much more approachable. You're gonna come at it with a mindset that, no, I've done everything to the maximum of my abilities, and I'm approaching all of these moments, all of these events, all of these whatever, these games, with a mindset that like, it's built through now. It's built through now. And I think the bottom line is this. I know I'm gonna have a lot of coaching days, and you know, Parth, he's working a full-time job, he still makes his time to do everything, like it's multiple steps. But the biggest takeaway is this. I know that if I just came off of a day of 10 hours of just coaching athletes, minimal food, not the best hydration, whatever, and I was still able to crank out this awesome workout, let alone if it's the best weight or not the strongest weight or whatever, but those days when I'm able to go and coach 10, 12, 15 athletes over the course of 10, 12, a whole whatever 12-hour day at a competition, I know I'll still be able to perform. But those days are built through days like this. And it's funny that this video came out at the same time as like me talking to my athletes about instill what you're trying to do on a day-to-day basis. If I'm trying to perform like this, live like that on a day-to-day basis. And that's what it is. That's the Coach Cam mentality. That's the values that we hold. And you guys will see it definitely in upcoming videos when I show more of my teaching and then also what the karate workouts look like. Stay tuned for more. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, please subscribe, show some love, share these videos if you're taking anything away at all. Catch you guys next time.